Yo, what's that word? 3012 Inning Podcast. Updated to episode 48 because we didn't finish add 5 picks to our mock drafts. We're gonna have Chalil start out first at pick 11, which was the Minnesota Vikings.
All right. So for my mock draft in the previous episode, that's carrying over to this one, I had the Falcons and Vikings swapping picks. So pretty much the Vikings traded up to the 7th pick to get their quarterback, and the Falcons dropped back to the 11th and 23rd pick. So with the 11th pick, I have the Falcons getting Jared Verse, edge out of FSU. I feel like he's really well-rounded, and he has all the tools that will be an immediate impact on defense. And I believe he can come in and compete for that defensive rookie of the year. And then we're going to 2, right?
Let's do one at a time.
Okay.
I'll do one at a time.
Bet. My Vikings pick, because I haven't met the trade, but I'm having them go ahead and snatch up Michael Penix Jr. Great dual threat quarterback, can do it all. Nice arm. Can't really lose him as that second defender, second level of defending, because he will take off and get a nice yards gainage. He's a really great quarterback, a great percentage on the year as completions, and he plays some pretty big games. And with the losing of Kirk Cousins.
Kirk James.
2 Chain.
He's finna be at the games.
Yeah.
For the Minnesota Vikings, number 11 pick this year, it's probably a mistake to have him slipping out of the top 10, but I'm going to go with Malik Neighbors so they can complete. Whoever's going to be the quarterback, they can complete that trio of wide receiver with Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, and Malik Neighbors. That might be the best receiving core in the league in two years. So I'm going to have them picking up Malik Neighbors, a wide receiver out of LSU.
Number 12, which is the Broncos. I got him picking up Byron Murphy, the D tackle. I feel like he's another impact defender coming into this draft. He excels at attacking the quarterback from the interior and just being that all-around presence. Just because with his frame and everything, he's how can I say this? He's able to withstand and be strong and hold at the line of scrimmage.
Okay. With my Denver pick, Broncos are going to be selecting Teron Arnold, nice corner from Alabama.
Arnold.
Yeah, Terrion Arnold from Alabama. Great size, great hips, gets to the ball, plays for the ball. You go to Alabama, you're drafted, man, for sure. And he did that.
Y'all hear that?
Uh-uh.
All right. Sorry if y'all hear that. My baby watching cartoons. But anyways, Terrion, that is a great pick. Him pairing with Pat Surtain II. I actually really like that pick. Again, this is another guy I maybe don't see him falling this far, but to be consistent with my mock draft, I'm gonna have Jaden Daniels going to the Denver Broncos. They pick up a quarterback for the future, perceivably. Still got to get a lot of weapons around him after trading away Jerry Jeudy, and I don't know what they're going to do with Cortland Sutton. But I think he's going to be a nice piece for them, going to create through the air, end on the ground, give them dynamic ability. They might have to lean on the run his first year with a brand new coaching staff. Well, with Sean Payton there and how he likes to run things, especially with him liking to mix in the zone and stuff like that. So I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels here for the Denver Broncos at number 12.
13, the Raiders, I have him picking up J.C. Latham, offensive tackle. I feel like the Raiders are pretty much in a rebuild. Their O-line performed pretty good last year, but I think that had to do with the coaching. And now that he's gone, I feel like they're going to have to build their O-line back up. With him, he has a big frame. He's very powerful, has the good lateral quickness. And I feel like with the lateral quickness, he'll cause a problem for defenders trying to come in flying off of the edge, as he'll be able to kind of get there and meet him at the spot.
Okay. Yeah, man, like Chalil said, I think the Raiders are definitely in a rebuild year for sure. With that pick for myself, I got them picking up sorry if I botch his last name. Romy Azundi. Azundi. Uh, but yeah, nice receiver out of Washington. He's a senior. Um, really quick twitch, runs his routes really, really refined, gets open, and that's the thing you need to be in the league. You got to be able to create separation, and they're kind of comparing them to a lot of great running route runners in the league now who is already there. So that'll be a nice pickup for
him. Pick number 13, Las Vegas Raiders. I agree with Khalil. I had J.C. Latham as well from Alabama. Has tackle guard versatility, but I think his best position in the league is going to be at guard. But again, it's important to have that versatility. So in case, they want to have a swing type situation. I do think they were getting a little older on the offensive line for the Raiders. I know they just brought in Antonio Pierce, defensive guy, but I think he's going to prioritize being physical on that offensive line, even though they just let Josh Jacobs essentially walk and Gardner Minshew with the projected started quarterback. With all due respect, you're going to have to lean on the run. And I think this is a good place for my second offensive lineman to come off the board.
The Saints at number 14. I will butcher his name. I'm sorry. I believe he's out of Penn State. Alumuwa Fanasu. He's an offensive tackle. I just feel like with the Saints, one of their offensive tackles, Trevor Penning, he had a pretty bad season last year. So I think the Saints are just looking to improve at that position, especially with their other old tackle going through a couple injuries last year as well.
Okay. Well, since this man already tried to say the name, I ain't gonna even try to say it. But I got the same guy going to the Saints. Yeah, because that is a mouthful. But shout out to him, man. You're making the league. He's really great. Really, like you said, really big body. We can get to the ball. Hands. Gonna be able to block for Justin David Carr. Derek Carr, I'm sorry. And he can actually stay up this year and not be one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league.
Joe. Wait for Brock to come back. I just go with my
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go with the coach pick.
King pick, you go with your 15 pick, and then he can just rattle off 2 in a row.
It's all right. I'm back. I'm back.
Go ahead.
My bad, everybody. We're at
Saints.
New Orleans Saints.
14.
For the New Orleans Saints, trying to think about, okay, they're going to have Derek Carr returning. I'm going to have them picking up Terrion Arnold here. The New Orleans Saints to pair with Marshawn Lattimore. Again, like Byron said, great cornerback from Alabama, press man coverage, which I think Dennis Allen, he focuses on that a lot. They got a lot of pieces on their defense that are getting kind of old, so they're going to need to replenish them, especially with, the Saints always have this perpetual terrible cap situation. So you need those young contracts in there. And I think it's a good pickup. And him and Chris Olave are going to have some great battles in practice. And we're going to see how it unfolds. But I have Terrion Arnold here going to the Saints.
My next one, who was it? 1 second. the Colts, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the Colts, like I said, feel like their weak point's cornerback. So that's how I have Terrion Arnold going there. Like you guys said, he's pretty much excels at a good amount of things. And I'll be feel like he'll be able to come in, be a day one starter, continue being a ball hawk, and really help improve that secondary. And hopefully keep the Colts in games.
Definitely. That's what they're gonna need. The Colts pick for myself, like Chalil said, they're in desperate need of defensive back. I got Quinyon Mitchell, if I'm saying his name right. Great senior. Um, very much a ball hawk. He stays with his man like glue, running step for step. He can get to the ball, plays the ball. He can play in phase, out of phase, whatever is required for that day. And like Steve said, then this is going to be a pick that can come in and start right away, contribute for the Colts, and try to keep them in games, especially with their young quarterback and Anthony Richardson coming back, trying to keep everything up and win games.
Sure. I was kind of torn on this one, but I'm gonna go because I don't think it's tough to think about his slide being this far because how talented he is. But for the Colts, I got Anthony Richardson getting a number one receiver. Well, another one besides Michael Pittman, but and picking up Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia. Um, both played in SEC, Georgia, Florida, the rivalry, so they're familiar with each other. Of course, Anthony wasn't winning those games, but but I think he's going to provide great route running, solid blocking, but regardless, he's going to be out there damn near like a receiver running those routes. He has a chance, honestly, to be the most talented tight end in the NFL within 2-3 years. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the Pro Bowl as a rookie. If you watched him at Georgia, he's that talented. And so I think it's going to be a great pickup for the Colts. He's going to fit right in, especially they haven't really had a dominant tight end. Eric Ebron made the Pro Bowl a couple years ago, but since really, I don't want to
Dallas Clark.
What's up his name? Yeah, it was Dallas something. I didn't want. Yeah,
Clark.
Dallas.
Yeah, I remember. That's my guy on Madden.
Yeah. So
44.
Yeah. So I got them picking up Brock Bowers.
Final pick for this segment of the draft, pick number 16 to the Seattle Seahawks. I have them going Graham Barton out of Duke, interior lineman. I feel like the Seahawks spent all this money on Geno Smith. They're looking like they're in a little bit of a rebuild themselves. I feel like they need to protect their veteran quarterback. And with this pick, he has the versatility to where he can play guard or center.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Seattle pick for myself, like I said, for this. Oh, great segment here of our mock draft. I got Graham Barton as well. Keep Geno up. They win games. They kind of, like you said, rebuild. They're in that, but with Pete Carroll, you can still win games. And like we're gonna see what's going on now with the whole new situation that's going on in Seattle with Graham Barton being able to keep Geno up with the running back of Kenneth Walker and DK. You just got to make plays.
Yeah,
I just want to clarify too. Pete Carroll did get.
Yeah, no, that's why I said with the new situation going on, like we're gonna see like how they do with the new line, new coaching, new OC, like things like that.
Mike McDonald.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that boy, and that's my guy, USC all day.
Yeah. I agree with y'all as far as protecting Geno, and I think going to be eventually be Sam Howell. But I went with a different offensive lineman. And the reason I got the phone because I need to know how to pronounce his name. It was Olu Fashunu, offensive tackle for Penn State. I think he would have had a chance to be a top 10 pick last year if he would have came out. But I think he would have been the youngest player in the draft last year. Gets to be a year older, refine his techniques. Still has a lot of the physical traits that were going to make him a high pick last year in the draft. And again, he is a true offensive tackle. Not much of like the swing variety. He is a true offensive tackle, long arms, athletic. Um, excuse me. And I think he's going to be a great pickup for this offensive line. Like I was saying, uh, creating holes for Kenneth Walker and protecting Geno / Sam Howell. And we're going to see how that plays out up here in Seattle. That was our 5 picks for the mock draft. We'll add some more come this Sunday. Y'all go check out our previous episode for our first 10 picks and check out our one on Sunday for our next 5 picks, which are going to be picks 17 to 22. So check out those, especially if you're a fan of those teams. If you are a fan of any team we already mentioned, get in the comments below. Let us know how you feel about how your team is building in this draft, and things of that nature. So our next topic we're going to talk about a little bit about is Bronny. Bronny's situation. Bronny has chosen to declare for the 2024 NFL draft while also entering the transfer portal to transfer from USC. What do you guys feel about the Bronny situation in general?
Just to start it off, I don't see him staying in the draft. I think he's more of just kind of testing the waters, evaluate himself, and go back to the drawing board before he actually makes his decision of what college he wants to go to. I know with a lot of first-year college athletes, most of the times the first schools never really work out, just because it's not the fit you thought it was. So if he doesn't stay in the draft, which, like I said, I think he's going back to college, I expect his recruiting process to be more thorough and him to find that right fit for him to where he's going to be able to play how he needs to play. Because he's more of a, defender, pick up a guy 94 feet from the basket, use his athleticism. So I feel like he'll try to find somewhere where he can use that to the best of his abilities.
No, most definitely. Bronny James. I say he really didn't get a fair chance in college. I mean, I wouldn't say he didn't get a fair chance. I would say his chance was just scoring a little bit with him having that cardiac arrest at the beginning of the season, coming back, playing, not being able to play to his full capabilities, only putting up 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, 1.6 assists, in off 36% shooting. I don't think that's him. I don't think that's what he's capable of. I think he's capable of a lot more. I mean, if he were to stay in the draft, I believe not nowhere in like first round or second round or something like that, but I believe he will be drafted, and I believe he could contribute to a team right now. But I obviously feel like he should go back and explore his transfer portal options, find a better team where he can actually show his talent and not have to prove that you can score a lot more points, but just prove that you can grow your game, develop your talent, and become possibly a first round draft pick and play with your father at some point. If they can make that possible, and if anybody could, it's LeBron James.
Definitely. I have 2 thoughts about this. The first thought is this actually scares me because if you've been paying attention with LeBron's situation, it scares me as a LeBron fan because it leads credits to like this fear I have that he might retire this summer. Um, with his son leaving Los Angeles, I don't think he's going to enter the transfer portal and go back to USC or UCLA or anything like that. I actually think he might leave California, but I'll get into that by my second point. Again, this scares me as a LeBron fan because he's been leading towards retirement. He was talking about it last summer, and I'm not going to say dragged that on, but that situation was reported on and seemingly more serious, deeper into the summer than what I thought it was going to be. So And saying that, and LeBron's been talking about his injuries more and more. It's been reports that his ankle injury that he's dealing with, it's not an injury where like basically something happened. It's just a chronic injury at this point due to his age and mileage in the game, which is also something when athletes get towards the end, you hear a lot of them saying, my body told me when it was time. And I think LeBron wants to go out on like the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady route, as far as maybe not winning the championship, but still going out on top. Meaning, we'll see. We've never seen LeBron be trash or a bad player at all. Like we never had to see LeBron take a bench role or even play anything less than an MVP level player. And so I think that's something that he values, and I understand why he would value that. That'll be a strong argument if we've never seen him at less than a top 10, top 5 player in the league, thinking back on his career. Plus, even before LeBron went to LA, the whole talk was about him moving to LA to set up his life post basketball. And he's done very well at that. And another fear, he started the podcast with JJ Redick. We're starting to see LeBron more and more evolve as a person off the court versus on the court. And so I understand when, as a man, when you want to spend time with your family and stuff like that. And I understand that's becoming more important to him as he gets older. I'm not going to pretend like I'm in his mind, but from an outside perspective, I could understand if he just decided to walk off into the sunset this year. The second point about Bronny, I don't expect him to be in California. I think it was a lot more on him, especially like Byron said, dealing with a cardiac arrest, but also you're playing in the same city as your legendary father who plays for the Lakers. That's a lot on anybody, but especially